Hello, welcome to Wealth Transfer. My name is Terry Saka, the Chief Strategist, and I do want to touch on a point real quick before we get going. Today we are talking about things central banks have been doing, and you're going to want to know. Because if they have been doing it at this level, shouldn't we? But before I get going, I know last week I was touching on fake news, and I'm not going to get too much into it, but I do want to kind of clarify a couple things, and one with the millennial comment, but two, I want to say this. I was hot last week, so for those that missed it, go check it out. But I was pretty hot about it, only because it's not about what they're doing as experimental. It's really about what the overall agenda is, and it's enslaving our minds as free, sovereign Americans. And I guess as an ex-Army guy, that kind of bothers me. Maybe it bothers me just being a father. Maybe it bothers me because I've had freedom, so I thought. I grew up in an era of Christianity in our culture, and it was kind of the norm, so I thought. And today it's a full-on assault on that very ideology, and that's where you're seeing our battleground take place. I feel very bad, honestly, for most of the progressive and liberal and a lot of those in the middle. These are just labels. And I feel bad because they really just truly don't understand. And, but it's still at the same time, just because you don't understand, I'm not letting you put the foundation on my house either, right? So I want to read this scripture. Check this scripture out, and they're going to put it up on the screen for you. Now, this is out of, what was that? Out of Romans 1. Romans 1:18. For the wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men, who by their unrighteousness suppress the truth. Now go down to 21. For although they knew God, they did not honor him as God or give thanks to him, but they became futile in their thinking, and their foolish hearts were darkened. Claiming to be wise, Microsoft, Facebook, Google, mainstream media, our government, claiming to be wise, they became fools and exchanged the glory of the immortal God for images resembling mortal man and birds and animals and creeping things. Therefore God gave them up in the lusts of their heart to impurity. And that's what we're seeing going on right now, folks. And it's something that we can't stop, I understand. But we can help those that are in the kingdom who need to see. But check this out. This is going to go back just a little bit. I want to clarify the millennial comment I made, because I did make comments about millennials, and I get it. There are definitely some good ones. There are definitely some God-loving, conservative. I don't like blanket stamping, or I just don't. But unfortunately, it's the only way we can communicate so people understand. But the younger generation and beyond, no doubt, are at higher levels of Luciferianism than we've had in multiple generations in the past. And the numbers speak for itself. Lack of church, the belief in all this weird genderism stuff. I mean, go on and on. But look at this chart right here. Millennials and their kids want big government. Now look at that for a minute on the chart on the right. Generation Z and millennials are bigger role for government is their desire. Now, I'm a Gen Xer. I'm stunned that even half of my generation believe government should do. I think if people really understood, government shouldn't do anything. It should be way out of the picture, like way over there. You go build a road, you go after a bad guy, you make sure the water's running, some electricity, that's it. Stay out of my way. We'd be a better place, I think. Granted, there's going to be criminals, but I do believe government has aided and abetted the problem. But beyond that, from my generation at 53%, millennials 64%, and their children, Gen Z, 70%. Believe government needs a bigger role, AKA socialism, slavery of the mind, slavery of the soul, stealing what's not yours, and doing it through vile, vehemently vile debate and show. It's astonishing to me what they do in the media today and the late night televisions and all these different people and their opinions. I think most of them should just be quiet. They shouldn't have an opinion. That's the thing. So, central banks. Why is it important? Why do I got the Queen with gold? Only because, I'm not going to get into it, but I wouldn't go there. They've been in power for 1,000 years, and you think that's by accident. But look at this chart on where global corruption is rampant. Now, this is all leading into why central banks are doing what they're doing. Countries and territories ranked to perceive public sector corruption in 2018. Now, the word is perceived, okay? All the red is where it's really corrupt, and then the yellowish phases is where it's sort of. The United States definitely is corrupt, but not as good. Canada's definitely better, supposedly. But look at all the red. But the point I wanted to show on this map, look at how corrupt the majority of the world is. And what's even funnier to me is how the map, this is the perception now. So why from last week in the fake news we're today, we in America believe we are not. We believe for the most part it's, we're pretty honest and things are right and true, but they're not. There are dozens of cases every single day from, a civil asset forfeiture situations, the wars that we're in, the financial lies and why we're going to be so destroyed in our buying power in the future and why we need things like physical silver. We are being fed so much fake news and information and propaganda right to the core of those schools. Now, God bless you if your child has to go to a public school. Me, I would homeschool before I did that. I'm not there. I just refuse to go there. Good teachers, some of them in there. A lot of evil ones. And I say evil when they're liberal, progressive mindsets, twisting the minds of these little children to think into this sloppy, Luciferian, disgusting world that they're creating. And there's a lot of them there. We are corrupt. Problem is, we don't see it. At least the rest of the world sees it. So, when it comes to the central banks and what's going on, why is it important? Well, if fake news is so legitimate, which we know it is, it's astonishing that it's even a debate. I mean, once in a while, when I have to travel, unfortunately, I have to pay attention. And when I see CNN on in the airports, I'm wondering how and why do they get the contract unless it's been grandfathered in from the creation of cable? Because they are the most corrupt news organization. And what's really crazy, some of the nicest people I know and smart ones, they sit there and watch CNN all day. I judge someone by that. I know probably shouldn't. But if you're an avid CNN watcher, there is no doubt, I know for a fact that you really don't know anything about what you're talking about if you have an opinion. And so I just kind of steer away from that because I just know. It's sad, but it's true. But in the information we're being taught, it isn't just the social justice warrior snowflake generation. It's finances. And the elites are doing something and setting up something for what is coming. And shouldn't we? I encourage you to get protected and be preserved. And now, more than ever, it's time to start diversifying if you knew what was coming. Check it out right now. This would be a good place to get started at.
Terrorism, a volatile stock market, rising food costs, natural disasters. Every day our economy is at risk, but your assets should not be. Cornerstone Asset Metals is here to help you protect and preserve what you have worked so hard to gain. Whether you have IRAs to protect, 401ks to preserve, or cash in the bank, our accredited asset management specialists are here to support you. Call now and we'll send you urgent information regarding changes to the dollar and challenges to our economy that you need to be prepared for. Learn how easy it is to roll over your current IRA or 401k into a physical precious metals IRA. We can even arrange to have your precious metals stored in a private vault or send it directly to your home. Do not delay. Call 888-747-3309 or register online at cornerstoneassetmetals.com today. Invest in precious metals and create security in your future today. Call now.